shame. You who claim life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you out here writing bad checks. Checks we tried to cash and it bounced. The account said insufficient funds. But we don't believe you. There is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism, like maybe one day, eventually, little by little, slow banjo and a fiddle. No, America, now. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy, to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. You know how hard it is to not drink from the cup of bitterness? To not gut you like a pig at Christmas? We gotta be careful. Our destinies are linked. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. We try to purge our reality from police brutality. And for the sake of our sanity, we can never be satisfied. As long as our bodies heavy with fatigue cannot get proper lodging in motels and hotels along the highways, we will never be satisfied. As long as a brother in Mississippi can't vote, and a sister in New York believes she has nothing to vote for. I see you, brethren. The sacrifice, getting locked up and fatigued in the fight for freedom, I see you. And encourage you. Have faith. Because unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed, because I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that even in states like Alabama and Mississippi, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little babies will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the contents of their character. I have a dream today. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. The best of this nation will dawn when her actions are consistent with her songs. So I sing, let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire to the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California to Lookout Mountain in Tennessee, in every village and every city, we will speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.